The whole family has superpowers, all stem from that one accident. A week ago, Henry took the family on vacation, but suffered a plane crash, forced to land in a glowing river. Fortunately, 4 people were only slightly injured. After a short break, Henry went back to work as usual. Suddenly, a terrorist aims at the female officer and fires. Henry subconsciously jumped forward to block the bullet. However, the bullet was caught in his hand and crushed into a discus. At this point, Henry realized that his body had definitely mutated. Subsequently, Henry went to the baseball field to test his superpower. He adjusted the tee to a speed of 90 miles per hour. The next second, he caught a fast-flying baseball with his bare hands. Henry was so excited, he cranks it up to 100 miles per hour. He cranked it up to 100, then 120. Without fail, he caught all the baseballs with ease. Finally, Henry cranked up the speed of the tee to the limit. This time, the baseballs broke. He was still unharmed. In order to find the limit of his superpower, Henry called out to his colleague Tom. He told him to shoot himself. Tom did not dare, but under the panic, the gun still went off. Henry easily caught the bullet, but Tom was stunned. Tom was stunned and passed out. When he woke up, became more excited than Henry. Henry discovered he had other powers. He legs of force, jumped directly on the 100-meter high building. With such a superpower, Henry's dream of doing justice is finally coming true. This day, Tom in the bank to do business. Just in time to meet the robbers' robbery, he rushed to call Henry to the rescue. The robbers put Tom in the car as a hostage. Just as the robbers were leaving, Henry fell from the sky. Henry fell from the sky. He stopped in front of the car. He overturned the car, then ripped open the car door, rescued Tom, and the robbers were all ambushed. At the same time, his wife also appeared. Strange changes. This is the fastest mutant in the world. When she ran, everything around her stands still. The powerful kinetic energy. Even the corner of her coat can shatter the rearview mirror of a car. Almost instantly, she rushed from the city center to the suburbs. With this superpower, why go to work? Can't you use it for delivery? In order to find out how fast she can actually run, Sally specially dragged her colleagues to the playground speed test. The first lap, she ran 600 miles per hour. Second lap, 800 miles. The third lap, straight up to 1200 miles per hour. In the process of Sally's high-speed movement, quantum force field will be formed around her body to protect herself from the violent air friction. By the time she stopped, playground has been plowed out a nearly half-meter deep furrow. But this is just a warm-up for Sally. Super fast speed also brings certain side effects. Sally must eat a lot of food to maintain metabolic balance. The most important thing is that, no matter how much she eats, she will not gain weight. On this day, Sally ran to work as usual. Because of distracted looking at the phone, she kicked a bike on the side of the road. Sally instantly lost her balance and fell out, until after rubbing out 2 miles from the ground, she finally stopped. Because of the super fast instead of speed, Sally's body wounds are healing at a rate visible to the naked eye. In order to figure out the cause of her and her husband's mutation, Sally specially ran to the river before the accident to take samples. After a series of chemical tests, this is the ordinary to the ordinary river water. Simply do not have the conditions to induce mutation. The next day, Sally's company organized a blood test for employees, but since the accident, Sally's blood has been abnormal. Once the mutation was detected, she is likely to be sent to the operating table for slicing. At the end of the day, with the cooperation of her colleagues, Sally took the supervisor's access card as fast as she could. She then rushed to the lab, successfully replaced her own blood sample because she was too fast. The surveillance could not catch her figure. Now, Sally's crisis is finally over. On the other hand, his son has also awakened his superpowers. This guy got a super plug-in. From the dregs of the school turned into a bully. The mathematical formula on the blackboard came to life. Countless knowledge directly into his brain automatically. Because of an accident, Sean's brain has achieved super evolution. Just flipping through books, he was at the level of a graduate student. Even the math teacher had to be subservient. But Sean's abilities don't stop there. The game of rugby, which he had never touched before, was now visible to him. The flight path of a rugby ball, the speed of a player's run, all became mathematical equations in his eyes. To verify what he saw, Sean was able to convince him. He joined the football team, but no one thought highly of Sean. On the field, Sean once again saw his teammates' movements. He calculates his lead time based on his speed. Then he angled the football, and he threw it. 3 seconds later, the ball falls precisely into the hands of the blitzer. The game was won outright. Now, coach was impressed with Sean and promised to make him a starter. But when his parents find out he won the game with his superpowers, they accused him of cheating. The 3 of them have a big fight and break up. The next day, Mr. Sean was in a car accident. Scattered steel pipe directly through the chest of Mr. Sean. After examination, the doctor found that the steel pipe had injured the aorta. If they pulled it out, the teacher might die from hemorrhage. The teacher might die from hemorrhage. In other words, with the current medical technology, he had to wait for his death. Sean was not willing to give up. He went to the hospital bed. The teacher's internal injuries appeared in front of Sean like a projection. He immediately returned home and flipped through medical books. After some research, Sean found that, as long as the steel tube is pulled out and the artery is sutured within 0.3 seconds, the teacher would survive. But the only one who could do it that fast was his mother. Then, the mother and son were able to evade the doctor and enter the operating room. After a series of extreme operations, the steel tube was successfully removed. The teacher's vital signs finally returned to normal. When the doctor came to the operating room, after seeing the teacher with the steel tube removed, he was completely confused.